I think there is a chance that Greek is going to have a problem, because I don't see the chance that Greek is coming up with their promises.
And if that happens, who's going to be most hit? I know Angela Merkel and President Sarkozy have come together in saying that actually they will defend default. They don't want default for Greece. But at the end of the day, you also have very different banking situations. Do you think that Germany and France can really be on the same page?
I think, the German banks, they're prepared. Because a bank which is not prepared yet is already in a difficult situation, because everybody knows that the Greek situation is not very prosperous. So, it's a question of cautiousness to prepare yourself and to off-write part of their Greek debts, and it should be more than 21%.
How much should it be?
I think
50%?
It's going to be more, because it's very easy to calculate. The Greek, they have between 350 and 400 billion national debt, and versus a GDP of 220, it's not workable. So you have to, well, there's a good part to be offered.
And so do we need to know that figure in the next couple of weeks? How important is it that we come out and saying, look, the haircut needs to be 40, 50, 60%, but we need to do it again now instead of waiting?
Well, it's a question of Troika again. The Troika has to calculate it. And then we have to make sure that Greece is really doing something, because, that is part losing of their sovereignty.
What is the German position right now in terms of bank recapitalization for Europe, for German banks, but also Europe-wide?
Well, that's the reason we have the EFSF. The EFSF has a facility to recapitalize banks in a situation when Greek is going to be insolvent.
Are we facing another situation like 2008? Are we actually at risk at repeating some kind of Lehman Brothers?
The good point this time is, first of all, the ECB is much more prepared than it was in 2008. Number one. Number two, the banks are much more prepared than they have been in 2008, because that would sometimes it came all of a sudden. Lehman, for instance, nobody was thinking even on the 14th of September 2008 that Lehman could be bankrupt or could be possibly bankrupt. It's a different situation. I think the countries and also the banks are much more prepared.
And you're confident that German banks are safe, that nothing will happen,
sure.
and that there's a plan in place if anything were to happen with Greece?
I'm quite sure that the German banks knows their job.